All right, let's jump right in. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're taking what often sounds like completely esoteric, mystical mind sciences, and we're going to break them down into highly structured, incredibly practical mental exercises. I absolutely love digging into topics like this because, it takes the abstract and makes it completely actionable. We're going to look at everything from basic mental discipline all the way to some truly fascinating clinical phenomena, using clear step-by-step methods derived directly from our source material. So I want to pose this question to you right out of the gate. Can a simple 2-minute mental exercise actually change your reality? I know, it sounds a bit like magic, right? But as we're going to see, it's entirely rooted in deep mental conditioning. We're going on a journey today to uncover how gaining absolute control over your internal focus can directly, literally influence your external world.
Section 1. The Power of Focus.
Before we get into the advanced techniques, we have to establish the absolute prerequisite for any of this to work. Our source material refers to the untrained mind as a lurching monkey, just constantly swinging from one branch to another without us even realizing it. Think about how easily your own thoughts derail. A single thought has 12 branches, and those have 12 sub-branches. You might think of a watch. Suddenly, you think of a specific brand, like a Rado. Then you think, oh, Rado is from Switzerland. Then you're thinking of the cold Swiss mountains, which, of course, leads you to Swiss chocolate. And then you're remembering a friend who brought you delicious chocolate once. You started at a watch, and 20 seconds later, you're craving chocolate. You could have a well full of gold coins, but if you can't pin this monkey down to one spot, you simply cannot master your reality, no matter how educated or successful you are.
To fix this, our source uses a brilliant analogy. Having a distracted mind is basically like driving in a heavy snowstorm without using your windshield wipers. You just can't see the road ahead. Our source suggests using a mental wiper, specifically pointing to the spiritual practice of asta kofar, which involves seeking forgiveness and cleansing the mind. By running this mental wiper, you clear away the static. Suddenly, you stop stressing over what you don't have, and you refocus on your immediate, incredible blessings. Just the simple fact that you have hands, eyes, and hearing. This supreme gratitude clears the mental screen and gets you completely prepared for the real work.
Moving on to Section 2, the Reconnection Mental Exercise. Let's look at a highly actionable specific application for when someone has completely blocked you or cut contact. Now, the absolutely crucial point here is to follow this exact physical routine. Okay, step 1, sit in dim light to calm yourself. You need to do 6 to 7 intense breathing cycles. Inhale through the nose and hold it for a long time, ideally 30 to 50 seconds, before exhaling completely through your mouth like a whistle. You really have to maximize your oxygen hold. Step 2, visualize the person's face and the spelling of their name on your mental screen for about 1.5 minutes. Say the name is Ali. Visualize A-L-I and their picture. Step 3, tap your right temple exactly 35 times. Step 4, using just your finger, no pen, write their name on the palm of your hand horizontally and then vertically. Then, using your thumb, rub a small circle over the name to create a little groove. And finally, press that same thumb against your forehead for exactly 5 to 10 seconds. After that, completely forget you even did the exercise. According to our source, the results are astonishing, often leading to unprompted unblocking and messaging.
Section 3. Mastering the Manifestation Process.
So let's transition to materializing immaterial thoughts into physical reality. But before you try this, I have to ask you directly, and be honest, do you actually know what you want? Because a lack of clarity will completely sabotage the manifestation process before it even begins. You wouldn't just walk into a car dealership and say, you want the red one, actually no, the white one, wait, make it the black one.
Our source shares a really great example of the wavering mind. Imagine a medical student whose parents, family, and themselves have all manifested them becoming a doctor. But halfway through their studies, they have this sudden realization, actually, I think I like law better. Or think of someone who wants to marry a specific person, but suddenly changes their mind because they meet someone a bit wealthier. When you change your destination mid-flight like that, your mental energy just scatters. You have to figure out exactly what your goal is and ensure it's something that's actually going to serve you well in the long run.
Once you have that locked-in clarity, you need the manifestation trifecta. These are non-negotiable, guys. First up, intense desire. This isn't just some casual wish. It must be a burning desire, literally with the intensity of a death row inmate begging for just one day of freedom. Second, unshakable belief. You have to know it's possible. If a friend can buy a private jet, your brain registers, hey, this is physically possible to acquire. Third, and honestly this is where most people fail, complete expectancy. You must remove the anxiety of when. You have to expect it to happen with such absolute certainty that your mind stops worrying about whether it's happening today or tomorrow and just simply accepts it as a done deal. To achieve this state, a lot of people turn to the famous Silva method, created by Jose Silva and learned by over 80 million people. The key to the Silva method is entering the alpha frequency, which is a state of deep relaxation and super high focus. So how do you get there? Well, through incredibly vivid visualization. For example, if I tell you to think of a watermelon, I want you to really picture the bright red color, taste the sweetness, actually see the water dripping from it. Engaging your senses this deeply is what pulls your mind into that powerful alpha state where manifestation actually starts working.
Section 4. The True 369 Method.
Let's look at how to properly use Nikola Tesla's incredibly famous tool, because here is where people make a massive, fundamental mistake. The flawed method looks like this: writing complex, future-dated sentences in the present tense. For example, writing, "I am married by December 25th, 2026. The problem here? Your subconscious mind is a built-in lie detector. It reads that date, it knows you are not currently married, realizes the statement is a flat-out lie, and completely rejects it. Mental resistance just goes through the roof.
So, the solution is a hyper-condensed method to bypass your mental lie detector. Strip away the dates, strip away the complex grammar, and just lose the lies. Use a simple equation. Your name equals your goal. For example, Safe equals $1 million. That's it. It minimizes mental resistance because there are no ifs, buts, or chronological lies for your subconscious to fight against. You just write the simple equation 3, 6, and 9 times a day.
And finally, Section 5, Advanced Mind Sciences.
Let's take focus to its absolute extremes with telepathy and clinical hypnosis. You know, you might see people on TV guessing numbers and think it's just magic or a trick, but it's actually about intense, disciplined mental matching. Our source details a telepathy exercise where two partners sit in separate rooms. One is told to think of a list of 15 fruits, say starting with an apple, and actively transmit or send that thought to the partner in the other room, who writes down what they receive. On day 1, the average match rate is only about 20%, but with daily, focused practice over 15 days, that accuracy skyrockets to an incredible 70 to 80% match. It completely proves that the mind's frequency can literally be tuned to another person.
Then we have the therapeutic powerhouse of clinical hypnosis. Now, stage hypnosis, like making someone fall asleep on a stage for laughs, can be learned in maybe 3 to 6 months. But clinical hypnosis is much, much deeper. It requires multiple sessions to address deep traumas, phobias, or addictions. It often utilizes age regression. See, normally our conscious memory stops around age 2 or 3. You don't remember who slapped you when you were a 1-year-old. But your subconscious, it is recorded absolutely everything. A trained clinical hypnotist can walk a subject backward on a timeline. From the present day, they can bypass that conscious barrier and drop the subject right into a highly specific past event. The subject, while in a trance, might say, "It's June 15th, 2003, it's a Wednesday. 2 robbers just came in and hurt my wife." The hypnotist can then safely guide the subject to essentially delete the intense emotional toll of that specific trauma from their nervous system. This is a clinical process done in fully recorded sessions so the subject knows exactly what suggestions were made. It's truly a game changer for healing.
Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. We've seen how a scattered monkey mind can actually be trained to unblock communication, manifest wealth, transmit thoughts, and even heal decades-old trauma. So I'm going to leave you with this. If your mind possesses the staggering power to delete past trauma and dictate your future reality, what will you choose to focus on today? It's time to start wiping that mental windshield and take real control of your focus. Thank you so much for learning with me today. I'll catch you next time.